rules of answer writing. लिखो golden rules of answer writing. Yesterday I was reading one freshers, कार्तिक का था शायद, कहाँ है कार्तिक? हाँ, I was reading his. Suddenly it struck me, and the question was very simple. What is democracy? ये था, what is democracy? And what are the various tenets of democracy in our society? वो नहीं लिख पाया. See, अगर तुमने इतनी 15वीं क्लास तक, ग्रेजुएशन इज 15 ओनली राइट, 10 + 2 + 3 15 और 16, बीटेक 16, तुमने 15-16 साल मतलब सीरियसली पढ़ाई किया और तुम एक डेमोक्रेसी के ऊपर नहीं लिख पा रहे हो, इसका मतलब ये फॉल्टी सिस्टम. बिकॉज यू नो दैट व्हाट इज डेमोक्रेसी, यू नो, and I only asked what is democracy, what are the various what are the basic tenets of democracy visible to you. Simple. That guy could not write. Why he could not write? Because he did not understand. It's not that Karthik का नाम मैंने लिया था ही, all of you in the same boat, probably in the worst boat. So try to understand that where is the mistake, why am I not able to write? There are questions that you need to understand the dimensions. ठीक है, UPSC is a test of written examination. I am telling you again, it is not a test of oral examination. It is a test of written examination. यहाँ पर नहीं, तुम UPSC जब पास होके लवासना में जाओगे ना, दोबारा एग्जाम होगा. आई होप यू आर अवेयर. हेलो, ऐसा नहीं है एक बार छक्का मार दिया नो बॉल में तो 7 रन मिल गए. ना, एक यॉर्कर फिर डालेगा वो. So that's how happens. Not all the UPSC toppers, examination toppers, top that exam. No, very rarely it happens. But in case of Tina Dabi, it got repeated. Why it happened? That girl studied for 6 years before she gave her examination. 4 साल तो लगातार इंस्टीट्यूट गई, तुमसे 9 महीने नहीं आया जा रहा है. सर और कितने महीने? सर रेस्टलेसनेस. सर आज 5 घंटे की क्लास हो गई, हम कैसे पढ़ाई करेंगे सर? वी आर नॉट गेटिंग पर्सनल टाइम टू लर्न. सर ऐसे सवाल आते हैं मेरे को, रोज आते हैं. सर आज 3 घंटे ही पढ़ाया आपने, मतलब उसको ज़्यादा देने से भी तकलीफ है. ठीक है, चलो राइट. गोल्डन रूल्स 1. %90 of you are not doing this. Read the question deliberately. Read the question deliberately. 1 से 2 बार पढ़ो. एक क्वेश्चन था मेंटरशिप वाले बच्चों को, 90% of them committed this mistake. The question was related to women centric problems in the 20th century. Women बोलते ही 90% of them wrote about 18th century. Their answer started with sati. 90%. The question was on अभी राजा राममोहन रॉय लिखा, पता नहीं क्या क्या लिखा उसमें. Question is on 20th century. 20th century starting date is this, ending date is this, 1999. वो सती लेके आया उसमें, राजा राममोहन रॉय को लेकर आया, मतलब 2-4 और लेके आता. And the problem is, and you expect me to correct that answer, and you expect me to give marks also and appreciate also. शाबाश बेटा, जिंदा रहे पुत्र. हैं? कैसे होगा? जैसे एक डायमेंशन पता है वो पढ़ा गया, उसके बाद what is the question asking? Read that question deliberately. No. So first thing you will do is read the question minimum twice. Deliberately मतलब धीरे से 2 बार पढ़ना है. And second, after reading twice, underline the demand of the question. What is the demand of the question? Please underline that. What is the demand of the question? Underline करो. ये पूछ क्या रहा है मेरे से? I am not talking about what is the indicative word. No, उस level पे नहीं जा रहा हूँ. Basic. First is read the question deliberately. And if you really want to do well, immediately ask a question to yourself. ये सवाल सिलेबस में कहाँ है? ये सवाल सिलेबस में कहाँ है? The problem is हमको सिलेबस ही नहीं पता है. 6 साल के यूपीएससी के तैयारी के बाद भी लोगों को सिलेबस क्या है नहीं पता है. प्रॉब्लम क्या है? इफ यू नो वेयर इट इज देयर इन द सिलेबस, you directly know from where UPSC is asking the questions. You prepare from that box. If a question is coming from that particular dimension, you understand. अच्छा, हिस्ट्री में चैप्टर में ये ऐसा लिखा है तो इसने इधर से उठा के एक सवाल ऐसे बनाया है. इसका मतलब whenever I will read these kind of topics in future, while reading the topic, I always used to do this as a student. I even now have this habit. Say for example, something is written in the textbook. These 2 paragraphs are there in the textbook. I am reading this textbook. We all have this habit, no? Underline, highlight, flower, asterisk, I love you till my end of my life. सब लिखते हैं ना हम लोग, ठीक है? I will fight for you with मुगले आजम की तरह औरंगजेब से भी लड़ जाऊंगा, ठीक? But the thing that you need to understand is, always do this. It will make your life very easy for revision. Just write. If you have this habit of putting this asterisk prelims, asterisk mains. If you develop this habit of while you are reading a textbook or any material given to you, automatically when you have to revise for prelims, you can close your eyes for this. You will see if the book was for 300 pages, I hardly read 70 pages because I compartmentalized what is important for mains and what is important for prelims. हम करते ही नहीं है. तो हमको आदत है अंडरलाइन करने की, हाईलाइट करने की, ड्राइंग्स करने की. नो, जस्ट 2 थिंग्स. स्टार मार्क प्रीलिम, स्टार, मेरे को ये आदत है. आई डू दिस लाइक दिस, प्रीलिम्स, मेंस. इफ यू कैन डू दिस इन ऑल योर सब्जेक्ट्स, बिलीव मी, you know the question paper before the question is asked. 100% when you go back home, you will see the mains question in one of your brackets only. It cannot come away from your bracket. It will not come. इतना हो सकता है इस कॉन्सेप्ट को लिंक करके करंट अफेयर डायमेंशन में पूछेगा. That liberty UPSC has. You cannot snatch away that liberty from UPSC. So if you do this habit, your entire book will get concised like anything. तुमको समझ ही नहीं आएगा यार इतना इजी कैसे होगा. But you need to do this habit. ठीक है? Now, reading the question, trying to find out the syllabus under this, not in the mains exam, in the present dimension. What happens is, क्या होगा? The biggest advantage of doing this is, over a period of time you will realize, I am finding it difficult to answer questions from this domain. मैं गवर्नेंस से लिख नहीं पा रहा हूँ, मैं एनवायरनमेंट में इस चैप्टर रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस आई एम अनेबल टू राइट. इट मीन्स आई हैव टू revise this chapter or revise this subject. It is a hint to you that your preparation, because of some flaws in your strategy, you skipped this part of your preparation. So that will keep giving you a hint what you are supposed to prepare, right? Now, very, very important. here your answer actually is complete. You have to create a structure of that answer in your mind immediately. कि मैं इंट्रो में क्या लिखूंगा, मैं मेन बॉडी में क्या लिखूंगा, मैं कंक्लूजन में क्या लिखूंगा. विल आई सपोर्ट द स्टेटमेंट, विल आई अपोज द स्टेटमेंट, विल आई स्टे न्यूट्रल टू द स्टेटमेंट. ये सारे डायमेंशंस इमीडिएटली आपके माइंड में आना चाहिए आफ्टर द अंडरलाइनिंग द डिमांड. ओके, नाउ द रोल ऑफ women in India's freedom struggle. Why do we see even today women are one of the most sufferers in our society? Question, anything, question can be A to Z, anything. The moment you get this question, what are the issues women facing today? What is one issue? If that issue is addressed, many other issues would be addressed. A question comes, why India being the third largest developing economy in the world still suffering from hunger? Question came, hunger से आप suffer कर रहे हो अभी भी 107th rank, no something. We are behind Pakistan, shameful. We are behind Sri Lanka. We are see war-torn countries, politically disturbed countries. Everybody else is ahead of you in hunger, and तुम जाके जो है अपने आप को चांद पे जाऊंगा, मार्स पे जाऊंगा बोल रहे हो. यहाँ दुनिया भूखे मर रही है. And the government is very happily saying, I oppose this. The government is very famous for doing this. The moment the government is shown in negative light, the government says, no, the recordings are wrong. Even if the recordings are 50% wrong, 50% is real. It means still there is so much of hunger in our society. Abhi, now, if you do not know what is the meaning of the word hunger, क्या ही लिखोगे? ग्लोबल हंगर इंडेक्स. अब मैं पूछूं रिलीज्ड बाय होम, फटाक से बता दोगे. अब मैं पूछूं व्हाट वाज इंडियाज रैंकिंग, फटाक से बता दोगे. जब मैं पूछूंगा व्हाट इज हंगर, if you do not know what is hunger, how will you write introduction for this question? If you do not know the difference between what is undernourishment, what is malnourishment, what is overnourishment, what is hunger, what is starvation, अब इन सब चीज़ों का फर्क तुमको नहीं पता है तो तुम आंसर कैसे लिखोगे? अब ये इस लेवल पे तो क्लासरूम में मैं पढ़ाऊंगा नहीं आपको कि बेटा ए फॉर एप्पल गोल होता है, लाल होता है, नहीं पढ़ाऊंगा. तुमको पढ़ना पड़ेगा. तो विदाउट नोइंग द कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी यू कैनॉट राइट एन आंसर. So you have to develop that habit. Once you do, the moment I comes hunger, okay fine. I told you introduction can be in many forms. Can I definitely not use what type of introduction here? Ironical? Or yes or no? Irony based introduction will come very beautiful for this kind of question. Irony. What is irony? On one side India is claiming to be one of the fastest growing economies in the world. However, it is so shameful that even today we are in 121 rankings, country rankings, we are 107th. It means that this particular area needs immediate deliberate attention of the government, of the civil societies, of the community, of the families. Start. तभी तुम लिख पाओगे, नहीं तो नहीं लिख पाओगे. I am telling you, those 3 hours, no, this will go. ये नहीं रहेगा तुम्हारे पास अगर तुम सही तरीके से तैयारी नहीं करके गए हो. और सही तरह की तैयारी कैसी है? बोल्ड तैयारी. तो जो पूछना है पूछ. मैं रट के कुछ नहीं आया हूँ, मैं समझ के सब कुछ आया हूँ. अब तू जो पूछेगा मैं लिख दूंगा. अगर मैं रट के आया हूँ, इफ आई बाय हार्टेड एवरीथिंग एंड आई एम सिटिंग इन द एग्जाम, దేవుడా నేను చదివిందే రావాలి. దిస్ ఇస్ యువర్ ప్రేయర్, నో? ది ఫస్ట్ ప్రేయర్ ఇస్ గాడ్ ప్లీజ్ ఆస్క్ వాట్ ఐ హ్యావ్ read. But I told you, you do not pray to God those things. What you pray to God? Some other things. Courage. Arey, let him ask the toughest question. I want him to ask the question nobody else should be able to answer. हम ऐसा नहीं करते. पेपर इजी करा वाले देवड़ा. UPSC एग्जाम के दिन देवड़ू के पास ओनली एप्लीकेशन इजी पेपर, इजी पेपर, इजी पेपर. The देवड़ू also wants to take some enjoyment, no? He will tell UPSC tough paper, tough paper, tough paper. That's how it will become tough. ठीक है? Try to understand, bring that change. Once you structure in your mind, see, in GS answer there is no space for rough work. In GS answer there is no space for rough work. SMA they will give you space for rough work, but in GS answer there is no space for rough work. That is why I am saying structuring should happen in the mind only. The moment you do structure in your mind, then immediately once again go back to the question. Instantly it should happen, so that just to cross check कि मेरे स्ट्रक्चर में कुछ मिस तो नहीं हो गया जो ये पूछ रहा है. So immediately from 3 you should go to 1, and when you start writing introduction, the moment introduction is over, 3 lines, 4 lines, again go back to 2, where demand of the question is there. Try to, when you start the main body of it, try to say, for example, this is your paper. This is how paper would be. This is how paper would be in UPSC. ठीक है, और यहाँ पे लिखा रहेगा अनप्रेडिक्टेबल सर्विस कमीशन बोल के. ठीक है, सो यू यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन, दे ओनली टाइप द क्वेश्चन, दिस क्वेश्चन एंडेड हियर, so many marks. You started writing your answer. You wrote your introduction. You don't write intro करके, you write your introduction. 3.5 lines introduction लिख दिया. Now the question is there on top. I told you from 4 immediately go to 2 and see what was the demand of the question, and try to keep the main heading matching the language of the demand of the question. So you are reiterating to the invigilator that I am writing exactly what you have asked. So जो तुम्हारा demand है, the demand of the question should become your side heading. Simple. That demand of the question should become your side heading. Assuming this was a 10 marker question, so 150 words. 150 words means 2 pages you will get to write. This is your introduction gone. Now this place you have given your introduction. Always remember the ratio. It is 1:8:1. In 10 out of 10, 1:8:1. 1 ratio is your intro. Out of 10, 8 ratio is your main body and 1 ratio is your conclusion. This is the general structure. For space also. So if this is 100% space available to you, 10% for introduction, 10% for and rest 80% main body. Many questions you will find there are 2 questions within the demand of the question. There are 2 demands of the question. It means this 8 will become 4:4. Yes or no? 40:40. Then you have to immediately see, मैंने इतना introduction लिख दिया, where I have to end this first part of the demand of the question so that I can write the demand 2 also. If there are 2 questions within a question, the marks would be allotted equally to both the demands of the question. Try to understand this. Or yes or no? So you have to give equal pacing to that. It should not happen because you knew the first demand in detail, you take the entire space and just write 1 line about here. So it means out of 10 marks, you wrote for 1 mark, 4 marks and 1 mark. So you wrote for 6 marks and you wrote 1 line here. Assuming he is happy today, he did not get any beating from his wife in the morning, he gave you 1 mark for that. You got 7. You wrote 7, you did not get 7. You wrote 7. Now out of 10 you wrote for 7. In UPSC if they have to give you more than 50% marks, it has to be supported by some reasoning by the invigilator. ये आप समझ लो, अगर 10 नंबर का क्वेश्चन है, अगर उसने आपको 5 नंबर देना है या 5.25 या 5.5 या 6 देना है, he has to pen down some things in writing to tell that this guy or girl deserves this many marks. He does not want to take that pain. He will leave you just below 50% if the answer is very good. So below 50%, मान लो 3, अरे सर, और ऐसा ही तुमको 3 नंबर आया तो ये टेक्निकली कितने परसेंटेज हो गया 10 में? 30, और 250 में 75. अगर आपके 75 एक जीएस पेपर में आ गए या 2 जीएस पेपर में आ गए, आप अगले साल प्रीलिम्स की तैयारी करना शुरू करो. Getting my point? It is not easy to get 50% in mains. I am telling you, very difficult. And on top of it, this is 75 when you have written all the 20 questions. Hello? समझ में आ रही बात? अगर आपने 16 ही लिखे, 4 नहीं लिखे, 12 नंबर चले गए, 62, 63, फिर कहाँ रेस में हो? गौरव अग्रवाल, if I remember the year, 14 or 15, in one of the papers he got in 60s, 62 or 63, GS paper 3, still topped the exam. 62 a topper getting हिस्ट्री में पहली बार हुआ एक जीएस में, बट दैट ईयर पेपर वॉज वेरी टफ. 2014 का जीएस पेपर 3 ऐसा फाड़ दिया, वो साला कौन बनाया पता नहीं, मिलेगा तो मारूंगा उसको. ठीक है, वैसा पेपर बनाया. ही गॉट 62 और 68, आई डोंट रिमेंबर एग्जैक्टली, बट इन 60s, बट ही स्टिल टॉप्ड द एग्जाम बिकॉज दैट पेपर वॉज टफ, वेरी टफ, बट ही मैनेज्ड इन अदर dimensions. So you have to be prepared for this googlies also. For example, history is your strong area, economy is your weak area. हिस्ट्री तुम्हारा स्ट्रांग है, पेपर टफ आया. इकोनॉमी तुम्हारा वीक है, पेपर इजी आया. दोनों जगह इफेक्ट एक ही होगा. वो इजी रहो स्ट्रांग रहो फर्क नहीं पड़ता, बिकॉज यू आर वीक. इधर स्ट्रांग था और पेपर टफ आया, you are unlucky. So you have to be ready for any eventuality in UPSC. Try to understand this, very important. So these things become very very important. ठीक है. Now इंट्रो लिखा तुमने, मेन बॉडी लिखा और तुमने कंक्लूजन लिखा. We'll come back to this again. Now reading twice, underlining demand means third reading. Hello, third reading. Structure in the mind immediately, fourth reading. Intro complete immediately. So you are reading a question how many times? Minimum 5 times, and 1/6 time only toppers do this. When the main body is completed, when you are writing the conclusion, then you go back again to the question, what was his reason for asking this question. The question that you will ask is, ये मेरे से क्या पूछना चाह रहा है, what is he trying to ask me, what is he expecting from me. When you get an answer to that expectation, then you try to justify that I have fulfilled your expectations in this dimension. That should be your conclusion. That is when you go back and read the question 6th time. That is, you go back and read the question 6th time.